The opinions expressed in this program reflect only those of the participants and are not necessarily those of the sponsors, management, or staff of WTBQ Radio or FST Broadcasting Corporation.
WTBQ.
Good morning. You are listening to the Nonprofit Notebook. As always, I'm your host, Anquinette Hayles, Advancement Consultant. And with me this morning is the beautiful, talented
Melissa Witte.
Melissa Witte from Greystone Programs. Melissa, welcome to the show, even though I know you're not a stranger, but welcome again to the show.
Thank you.
It's so exciting to have you on. We have a lot to talk about. Greystone just wrapped up its 31st annual wine showcase event. How was it for you?
It was a blast. It was a great time, lots of fun events, fun people there. We did some great auction items, and it was just a beautiful day.
It really was. And there were a lot of auction items. And thank you. Just a quick pause. Thank you to all those who donated and supported. It was a wonderful event. And your contributions really helped to support the Expressive Arts program that happens at Greystone, which, if you do not know, it is a privately funded programming that Greystone supports. And so every dollar, whether it's small or large, matters. So thank you again to all the supporters and our sponsors and everything who made the event possible. So let's talk a little bit about Expressive Arts. But before we do that, some congratulations are in order because today is your first time in your new position. So for those who are just tuning in, just learning about Greystone, talk a little bit about that. And yeah, let's congratulate you.
Thank you. So today is my first day in my new position. I am the coordinator of our Expressive Arts program.
Woo.
So just a really exciting day and really exciting changes, and looking forward to really focusing on the Expressive Arts program, the work that we do, and being able to take it, to the next level.
Absolutely. And everyone that I've had the opportunity to interview from Greystone, I have just raved about the idea that there's just like an upward momentum that happens at Greystone program. You come in the door as one thing, and then you're able to really plant your anchor, develop, grow, and then move up the ladder. And not many people can say that about different organizations. And so it's great to see that you are another person coming in and you're able to attest that you can start one place and then transition into something else, right?
Greystone is a great organization. I have worked with the agency for over 20 years.
Wow, 20 years.
And it's been a fun adventure, and they've always supported the artistic side of the work that I love to do, which has always been wonderful.
So 20 years. Now, was this something that you always saw yourself doing?
Working in the nonprofit field, maybe not, but working as an artist and kind of the path that I have found myself on is definitely something that I looked at in the past and wanted to kind of, that forward momentum of where I wanted to see myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's life, right? Sometimes we kind of know where we want to go, but the road is not even clear. It's not visible. We don't know how we're going to get there. We just have an idea. And I think it's so great that what you desired to do and what you're doing are kind of interwoven together. And so that's wonderful. So the coordinator for Expressive Arts. Now, again, if someone's just listening and they don't know much about what Greystone does, let's talk a little bit about what that is.
So the Expressive Arts program is something that we have had in place for many, many years. And it's really an opportunity to have folks support a program that our government funding doesn't necessarily pay for. So, we provide services, and all those basic services of someone's life are provided for. But the extras, the things that make life better, the things that add to someone's quality of life, those are things that you have to look outside for. So the Expressive Arts program is an amazing opportunity to develop programs and provide opportunities for people to come in and make art or find different creative, expressive ways that, a different outlet in their life. And the Expressive Arts program is here to kind of open up those doors and those other avenues for people that they may not find in their day-to-day.
I like that. It's like an open door to endless possibilities. And I think the key in that most people aren't aware, is that it's not paid through government funding. And so I think sometimes the idea is, well, if you're serving a particular population, you're applying for these grants, you're getting funding from the government, you're all taken care of. There's nothing more that we, the community, need to do to support you. But that's actually false, because, again, this open door of endless possibilities that we're calling expressive arts is not funded.
It's not. And we really rely on the kindness and the generosity of our donors and our supporters to open these doors and make these things possible, to give people the opportunity to go to an art group or a music therapy group, or, expressive movement therapy, things like that, equine therapy, all of those things that, again, that regular funding doesn't pay for. So all of the extras, all of the life enriching opportunities that the arts can bring for folks.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you started to kind of go into the list, which led me, you led right into my next question. What are some of the arts that are offered, some of the things that participants of Greystone have the opportunity to take part in as a result of being within the Expressive Arts program?
Yeah, we have different art groups. So we work with, for example, we have an after-school program where the young people that attend there have an opportunity to have an art group once a week. We have other art groups that are available for the folks that live within our group homes. One of the things that I'm really excited to do is really expand that. And Greystone itself has a pretty big footprint across the counties that we provide services. And I'm really excited to expand the footprint of the Expressive Arts group, because we want folks who live, whether it be in Warwick or all the way in northern Dutchess County, we want them to all be able to have these opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now when you say expand, are you saying to open it up to more families, or are you saying to have participation from more community partners?
I think both of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, I think both of those things, to be able to provide more to the folks that we do serve, and folks that are, maybe on the outer reaches of that footprint of Greystone. But also I'm really looking forward to finding community partners and opportunities to maybe have shows or do things in the community that we haven't been able to do before.
Okay, that sounds great. So if you are listening or you're just tuning in, we're talking about all things expressive arts, and it's important for community members and partners to collaborate. And so definitely reach out to Greystone Programs at www.greystoneprograms.org. Get connected with us. We're definitely looking to expand the Expressive Arts program. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Greystone Programs is a nonprofit human services agency that provides essential services to more than 600 children, adults, and families living with autism and other developmental disabilities. Greystone Programs also provides residential support in a community environment with 17 homes in the Mid-Hudson Valley area. Greystone Programs offers exceptional care and support for a variety of programs and services. To get involved or for more information, visit greystoneprograms.org.
Hey, I'm TJ.
What's up, party people? I'm J-Bo.
Join us on the next TJ show and see why people are listening to this. Aren't you curious to know why are people talking about the show?
Hopefully you're curious enough to listen.
You could find out on the next TJ show. We can't wait to be there with you.
WTBQ.
And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Nonprofit Notebook. I'm your host, Anquinette Hayles, Advancement Coordinator for Greystone Programs. And with me today is the lovely
Melissa Witte.
Melissa Witte of Greystone Programs, who is the new, say your position again?
I am the coordinator of Expressive Arts.
The new coordinator of Expressive Arts. I love it. Congratulations again on your new position.
Thank you.
And so before we went to our short break, we were just talking about how community partners can get connected with Greystone, because your vision for this role is to really grow it and expand it and have greater participation from across the Hudson Valley, I should say.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about, is just taking this program that already exists and taking it to all of these endless possibilities that exist within our communities and the arts world and all the other things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also wanted to mention that at this past 31st annual wine showcase that we just celebrated on October 15th, the artwork was displayed. And I thought that was wonderful to just go around to the different auction tables and see artwork from some of the participants of the after school program, the Club Cool, as well as some of the other programs that were able to submit artwork. So I thought that was wonderful, as well as the Keepsake Journal. Some of the artwork from participants were featured there. So just a way to spotlight and show all the things that were happening during, their time with the program.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about the wine event is being able to display and take people's artwork out of one setting, and when you put it into another, it gives it a whole new life and a whole new value to the viewer, which I think is a great thing. And it's really awesome to take their artwork and put it in a venue where folks aren't used to seeing it, and they can see it with fresh eyes and just get really excited about the amazing work that folks can create.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you put it, just seeing it with whole new eyes. But it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Now, speaking of artwork, which is near and dear to your heart, you are a business owner, a small business owner, which I love. And for the wine showcase, you submitted a beautiful jewelry set that we're going to be featuring on our social media. So if you are not following us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, be sure to do so that you can see this beautiful piece that Melissa submitted for our auction, our silent auction. So tell us a little bit about your journey, because I feel like it just goes hand in hand with this new role that you have, and how did you get started? I don't know where to begin. Let's just jump into it.
So I started my journey as an artist. I guess my whole life I've always been a maker. I did go to college for art. I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts from New Paltz. Wow. Okay. And it's kind of an interesting road because when I started at New Paltz is also when I started my first job at Greystone.
Wow.
So, kind of a similar journey. And as long as I've been working for Greystone, I've always been making artwork with the folks that we serve. But, life kind of takes different paths. And a couple years ago, found myself looking for a new creative outlet. And I found this jewelry making process that I found, was just absolutely enchanted by. And that just kind of sucked me in, and I started making jewelry, and that's it. That's kind of where I've ended up. Is I just really loved it and have found success in a business capacity, and have really moved forward in that other path in my life of small business owner, and which is exciting and
I'm sure
super fun. But yeah, I make jewelry. It's a really cool process that is not something that's very common. So it's something that when people see it, they're like, wow, that's really cool. How did you do that? And then I get to explain them, the process of the way that I make the work. And it's just something that I've found and just really loved continuing. I love going out and doing shows. I love being able to affect people and see people when they really love a piece of jewelry and when something really speaks to them. There's something that's very satisfying as a maker.
I'm sure. Most of us, when you think about art, right, you think, okay, I'm going to go to an art gallery or studio. I'm going to look at something on the wall or something displayed. And as a jewelry maker, your artwork moves. It moves with people and it tells a story. And so not only are you explaining the process of making the jewelry, right? You're also explaining how it came to be, why you chose the colors that you chose, or the particular design, right?
Yeah, I use a lot of different crystals and a lot of different stones that have, depending on what folks are looking for, they have a lot of different metaphysical characteristics and a lot of different properties. So it's kind of a
Just a way for you to kind of pull in expression and
yeah, and it's something that, you know, people sometimes are drawn to it because of a certain stone or a certain crystal. Sometimes people are drawn to it just because it's something that they really love and they think is something that they would like to wear. But it's exciting to be a part of that different process for people and see what they're drawn to.
Yeah, and it's great. I think it's wonderful when someone can be in a position and also have outside experience. So it's like you have this experience of expressive arts 9 to 5 with Greystone, but then you go home and like you have your own form of expressive arts that you're putting together and you're making, and I'm going to assume that you do custom orders, so someone could say, here's my thoughts. Then you can take that and run with it, right?
Yeah. I've done that. I definitely do custom orders, and it's something that it is really exciting when someone has an idea or they have kind of something that is special to them, or you know that it's a symbol or something like that, and that they would like to make into jewelry. And when I get to do that and see the finished product and see how excited they are about the finished product, it's a really fun part of the process.
Yeah. See, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And now, how important is it to have an outlet? Because I think we live in such a fast-paced society. And one of the main things that I hear when I talk to people about their journey through the pandemic is it slowed a lot of people down. And you got to really kind of realize just how much you were kind of on the go and really not taking time for self and not taking that time to even express what's going on with you, possibly. So how important is that when under the umbrella of expressive arts?
I think having that outlet I don't even know if there's words for how important it is. I think that, you know, not everyone has the desire to be creative. But I think for folks who find peace in that, and that for me is something, you know, being able to find peace and just find a place where the chatter is not there and, you know, the outside demands are not there, and you can go and just kind of take some time, and whether you create something that you love or you just feel good because you've gotten that energy out and you've expressed yourself and it's now on a piece of paper and you can walk away from it. Like, you know, there's so many different things. But I think just having a creative, for me and for a lot of people, having a creative outlet is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been able to monetize your creative outlet. So what would you say to someone who they found their outlet, they enjoy it, and they're like, I want to be a small business owner too. Where did you begin? Like what gave you the courage to just take the leap?
Do it. It's, you know, part of it is my husband is also an artist.
Okay.
And he really was encouraging me when I was kind of on that fence of like, this is something that I really enjoy. He said, just do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just really have to just do it. You have to just kind of jump in and see how it goes. And, you know, I did a show at a music festival, and that was my first time setting up and selling my jewelry. And it was like just to sit back and see people want the things that I was making was so much encouragement for me.
Yes.
You know, and I think for anybody out there who's thinking like, could I do this or should I do this? Just do it. Just, you know, take the leap, try it out. It's, you know, not every venture is going to be successful, but even if it's not successful, you learn a lesson, and you learn a lesson that, you know, can help to make the next one more successful. You know, and I just kind of kept taking these little steps, and one step gave me the confidence and the courage to take the next step. And you just kind of keep going. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I have a business and I'm selling my jewelry.
And it's not just jewelry, you're selling your art,
I'm selling my artwork. And that's, it's an awesome thing.
That is so wonderful. And I wish you all the success in the world. I think it's just been super great hearing about your journey, hearing about how you took the leap. And I think for anyone listening out there, you just have to do it. You just have to do it. And worst case scenario, it just remains your outlet. Maybe it doesn't become a full-fledged business, but it's still always going to be a way for you to express your artwork. And that's the beauty of expressive arts, is that it's not concrete. It's just a free-flowing, I guess, experience, I would call it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good for you. Well, that's our time. I know that we could talk all day. We can talk all day Expressive Arts. We can talk all day about Melissa's business, which again, we wish you much, much, much success. And you can find more information about Melissa on social media. We're going to put a post up on our Instagram and tag all of her social handles. So be sure to follow her, support local, local, and hopefully she'll have a couple of shows and opportunities for you to see what she's created in person. And so stay tuned for more of that. But you're listening to the Nonprofit Notebook with Greystone Programs. As always, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or you can head over to greystoneprograms.org for more information. That's our time. We hope you have a wonderful day.